Hello, this is TNT Dynamite. Hey, this is Tom and Tam for Tabletop Tap Room. We are doing a Shire Con recap, and I'm having the good wife come on today because, she's the better half of my team, and she's got some things to say about Shire Con as a spouse from the spouse's perspective. So that's what we're doing today, a recap. A lot of the photos I just grabbed a bunch off the Shire Con Facebook page. Not all of them were Tammy's, and I'm in trouble for that, but we're going to just press on and go ahead. So, Tammy, welcome back to the show. You're always chirping in the background and never on the screen.
I know.
So,
and we're across from each other, which people can't see. We're like, he's just over there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm in my command center, and I pulled the green screen. I pulled the green screen up behind me to hide the mess because I haven't put away the suitcase and everything. But anyhow, moving right along, we are doing the Shire. We just got back from Shire Con in Connecticut, New Canaan, Connecticut. What was it, a 5-hour drive, babe?
It's supposed to be a 5-hour drive. It took us like 7 to get there because of the lovely traffic in Worcester and then construction on one of the exits.
Yeah.
So it's already a bottleneck to begin with.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we hit rush hour traffic around Haverhill. Okay. We hit rush hour traffic around Worcester, and the ramp off of 495 has construction on it, and so it's really kind of it was ugly. And plus we were delayed leaving Maine, so it was and I highly recommend, if you're going to one of these conventions, what we did last year is what we should have done this year, is take an extra day and go down there, and we had fun. And we did that because it's our anniversary, so happy anniversary, babe.
Happy anniversary.
And so we went down there a day early, did some fun things, and then the next day was the convention.
Yeah, that's what we did last year.
That's what we did last. We should have done that this year.
We should have.
But we didn't. But anyways, let's bring up some pictures to show the. There we go. And this is the Colonial Theater, totally new venue from last year. What did you think of the venue?
I loved it. Last year we were crowded because we're outgrowing that space. This one has plenty of room, and the old theater seats that they have in there, cushy. So that was nice.
Well, yeah, they unbolted the old theater seats from the floor and put wood platform, bolt them down on wood platforms, and so they could move them around. And those were really comfy seats. I liked them. Yeah. And I mean, it's just such a beautiful theater. I wonder if they still do stage productions in there. Did you find out?
I don't know. There was a lot of I don't know. No.
Yeah, well, it would be cool if they did. So 2 floors. And this little area here, this storefront, you see it being advertised here on the marquee. This was one of the vendors, actually. He was selling like video games
and
comic books and memorabilia. And we never went in there, actually. I never went in there, but I was more interested in the RPG stuff. So that is the Colonial Theater, and rumor has it's going to be back. Now, last year it was 100 people, and this year 140, I think I heard.
I think I heard it was 145 or something like that.
Something like that. And yeah, we were not crowded at all, but we were maxed out at like 100 people last year, and yeah, it was very crowded. Yeah. So we got there 8 o'clock at night. We were supposed to be there for 5:45. And so we were 2 hours late for our game, and I was like, I don't know if we should even go. But
Rob Conley, I was like,
well, yeah. So we went up to the second floor, waved at Eric. Jason Elliott waved us over. And these guys at this table are the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, and they have such a cool game, and we'll see their vendor booth, but their game is kind of like 80s hair band wrestling, 80s wrestling meets Gamma World. And we missed out on being able to play in their game. We really wanted to play in one of their games, and the game was packed. I mean, people signed up for it fast.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get in. So we then, when they were like, no, sit in with us. It was like another hour to play. And we were like, well, we really should go down and say hello to Rob Conley. We were late for his game.
Because we could see this, I could see the seats we were supposed to be in at Rob's table. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Felt so bad.
And this guy his name was Rod. I think
Rob,
we played with him last year as well.
Yeah.
Rob Conley was great. Rob's game was so smooth, and we were playing his rules. You want to show the rules he gave you?
Oh, yes.
Well, wait a minute. Let me do this. The Majestic Fantasy RPG. And I went back and I said, would you sign it for Tammy?
Oh, I never looked in here. You did have him sign it.
I did have him sign it.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Happy anniversary, babe.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Getting off cheap.
So let's bring this back up. And so Rob's game was so smooth, and it just ran smooth. He wasn't cracking the book. There were no tables to consult. He was jumping up and down to get these little dwarven forged doors and archways that he was putting in place, and miniatures.
Yeah.
But such a smooth, well-run game.
And we entered when it was 2 hours into it.
Yeah.
And caught us up, and we were off we timed it so they were just about to start a new.
Well, the other party had actually worked a deal with the goblins. And then because we showed up, he said, our party had been captured by the goblins. Everybody else had been killed, and we were taken prisoner. And so as part of the deal with the goblins said, all right, these two are your problem, and they turned us loose. And we joined their party for the rest of the game. And that was a good way to work us in to the game. Rob actually is, to me, very smooth game master. I was really, really impressed. So another picture of him. You see my little ugly mug at the edge of the photo there.
Oh.
You took this picture, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And there's the group. We did a group picture, and good time.
Yeah, it was great.
Good
and
time.
We played. I don't know everyone's name, but the guy in orange, we played in a game with him last year.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's wearing those name tags. If you can read the name in the picture
true.
off the name tag.
Oh, that is true.
Her name was Helen.
Yeah,
I think.
That's Helen.
Yeah. And her and her husband, we played with them last year.
Yeah, we did. Swords and Wizardry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric Tenkar's game.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about food. Since the food pictures just turned up.
This was so easy. I think last year we had like one place you could walk to. Maybe a second one was a restaurant in the inn. This, multiple choices, and the industry kitchen is right diagonally across the street, and that had great, like, we ordered online at 11, and when we broke at 12, you got the food a little bit right after that.
Yeah, I ran across the street and picked it up for everybody.
Just a warning.
Yeah, so the Canaan Theater, let me blow this up. The Colonial Theater's right here, and you've got the Industry Kitchen, the deli, this Ilsa Coffee, Blackberry River Bistro, Roma Pizzeria, Collins Diner. Literally all of the restaurants in North Canaan are like right here in the town central square almost. So it was extremely handy, and Industry Kitchen was pretty good. We went back out that night. We didn't play a third game on Saturday, and I was just wiped because we were up late the night before talking, and then I had Christmas morning kid syndrome, wide awake, 8 a.m. Let's go. We got a convention to go to, and I needed a nap. So I power napped, and we went to Industry Kitchen and had the mussels. You never had mussels?
Never had mussels.
A Maine girl who's
I know.
being
know.
introduced to seafood for the first time.
No,
But-
wow. Yeah. I didn't have lobster till I was 17, which doesn't make any sense. I know.
Oh, I grew up.
Middle of Maine.
We'd be back in Maine visiting from the Air Force. Mom would want to have steamers and lobsters.
Yeah. I mean, I love lobster. But
So,
steamers are good. Those, I mean, the mussels. And what did you tell me? What's the difference between those and clams? I was like,
oh,
I thought these are clams. I'm like, what's the difference?
you asked what was the difference between mussels and clams, and I said mussels work out. Then this is Saturday. This was day 2, and our first game was with Swords and Wizardry with Eric Tenkar running it. And when we finished this game, we advanced to second level because we had our characters from last year. So
Yeah, that was cool.
By showing up in 2 of his games, we then advanced, and we got to meet Jason Messier, a good buddy of mine, known him a long time. First time meeting him in the real world.
Yeah, he was really cool.
It was good to see Edward James Bloodworth again, and Brian. Did we not?
We played something with him last year as well.
Yeah, I feel like we did.
I feel like it was this.
I feel like we did, and then Rachel and Eric, obviously. Yeah. And then you were always going, let's do a group picture.
Guys, aren't you happy I did?
Yeah, no, it's cool because otherwise I totally forgot to get a picture with Jason.
Oh, and I didn't realize that was your first time meeting him, right?
Yeah, we hadn't met in the real world.
Taken one. But...
Yeah. So
yeah, the Twisted Sister.
Oh my God, yeah. So he played a cleric. And he's a fan of Twisted Sister, so he drew the Twisted Sister symbol on an index card. And anytime his cleric brandished the holy symbol, he would hold up the index card with the TS, Twisted Sister TS on there. And it was just funny. I just loved it. He was goofing off, and it was great.
It was a great game. He had to carry around this really, really heavy key.
Yeah, it was like a 3-foot-long key.
Something.
And he decided, no, we're going to bring this key with us. Did we ever use that stinking key? I know.
No, we didn't.
And he was like, yeah, I'm strong enough to carry it. I'm like, go ahead.
What did you play? What were you?
I was thief.
Oh, that's right. Sticky Fingers.
Jed Sticky Fingers.
Yeah. And I was Magic, and so was Brian.
Although,
Rachel was the battle axe. Remember, we kept saying battle axe. She had the battle axe, but she couldn't roll to use it effectively.
She was playing the air battle axe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was absolutely funny. So views of the theater, and so these are the cushy theater seats.
Yeah.
And they just kind of arranged them around the tables, and. So now you can see down front, they had more tables down front, and some of the vendors were there. We'll talk about the vendors. And this was our game. This was our afternoon game. Weird West.
Yeah.
880-page rule book.
It was huge and heavy.
Well, yeah, it also doubles as an improvised weapon. You could really hurt somebody by throwing it.
But Ian, who's right there,
Ian's right here.
Game master, was the master. Like he knew that book in and out.
Oh yeah, he knew the game in and out. Well, that's why he was running it.
Right. No, I know, but I mean, he didn't have to consult it very often.
So Chet, I got to know. Chet's next to him here, and Chet actually was the artist, I believe, that did the Shire Con. No, maybe not.
Remember, you have 2021 on.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing the 2021 shirt. Chet did a lot of the artwork for Throwy Games for Tom Wilson, who organized the Shire Con, and he's got a really distinct style, and I really like it.
He and Ian are friends because they kept zinging each other back and forth. They were funny.
So yeah, this is he did the cover to. This was the convention module that was done by Throwy Games. Tom Wilson's company, and since Tom runs, every year he does one of these, and this is really great, and the artwork in here is fabulous. There's some really great artwork. I'm planning on reviewing this, so we'll go into that more. But I got to meet Chet, and great guy, great time talking with him, and great artist, really a great artist. And this is the upstairs again. Anything to say about this, babe?
No. Just, I mean, it was comfortable. You can see people weren't too jam-packed.
You snapped that picture of me. That was during Eric's game.
Yeah.
And
there's some vendors.
yeah, so the vendors, there were 6 or 7 vendors there this year. Last year, I think it was like 2. It could be a mistake. I think it was 2 vendors last year. So not only did we go up from 100 people attending to 140, 6 vendors, much more space, and now 2 days of gaming because it was just a 1-day event last year. So we're not doing vendors quite yet. More pictures of the games from down front. And the Tavern Brawl. This is Tom Wilson's game, and they have this every year. And they had this every year.
They were having so much fun.
Yeah.
They were having so much fun.
Yeah, because it's a brawl. You just start whacking away at anybody else in the tavern. And yeah, here's Ian. He's so happy running the game here.
And those guys in the back, the guy in the red, remember the kid Elvis? His name's Elvis.
Yeah, that's
great
his
black,
dad.
Thick hair. I don't know if his dad or his brother. I didn't kind of get the connection.
He's related to Elvis.
Right, they look alike. But that kid was like 12, and his name got pulled for the raffle. Well, and some people knew who it was, so they were all excited. And then everyone gets to see as he comes up to get his raffle gift. Wow. What did he put in for? What did he win? What did he win the first time?
Oh, the Judges Guild package.
That's what it was.
And then your name goes back in for the grand prize. And so he was running the Judges Guild package out to the car.
Right.
And they pulled the grand prize, and they're like, Elvis? Elvis has left the building, was the joke, of course. So he comes running back in, and his mouth is just dropped.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It was absolutely, so it was actually, it would have been a great picture. It was absolutely just the shock on his face that he won twice. Was absolutely great. So that was really cool. So they were young, and I don't think he was 12. I think he was more like 14, 15.
Maybe, yeah, I'm probably not giving him enough credit.
But so there were young kids there gaming. There were spouses gaming. Here's one of the.
This is when he was raffling.
Yeah, you bought the raffle tickets. So they were raffling off this terrace, and a little bit later after this, they did the Iron Hand of Vecna. Yeah. They did a massive, colossal red dragon.
Which I almost won.
Yeah, you were one number off.
I was one number off. It was the person after me that won.
Yeah, you're.
I would have given it to Zachary.
Yeah, Zachary would have loved that.
26-year-old who plays 5e.
So, some of the swag. I had to, because the burger I got from Industry Kitchen had too much barbecue sauce on it, and I bit into it. It went all over my shirt, so I bought an older Shire Con shirt through it over. I couldn't get this year's Shire Con shirt. They didn't have it in my size. They're already sold out. You really got to jump on those.
Well, and I thought I'd already bought them, so I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we thought we'd bought them, but then we went back and looked at our receipt. We had not pressed play on the purchase. So that was our bad. But anyhow, I bought a 2021 Shire Con shirt to cover up the barbecue sauce that was all over me. And these were the swag bags. And you got the last deluxe swag bag, and I got just the regular swag bag.
I got my bag.
You wanna?
And I have save the date. They already know the 2024 is September 20th and 21st.
I've not even gone through my bag.
Yeah. Find us on social media. This is the Game Masters Guild card. There's a Mana Crypt. So people are putting in
some business cards,
business cards, and then nice little coaster. That's always nice, right?
You got the deluxe bag.
Right.
Oh, what I did get though was from 1992, TSR collector's cards, part 2, unopened. I've never seen these collector's cards. While I was going to seminary in '92, so. This was kind of cool, and I'm like, I want to open them and look at them, but I think they retain the value if I don't.
I have a little pin. Do you have a pin for Shire Con?
No, I did not. You got the deluxe bag.
Right.
You got the last one.
Then I don't know what this symbol is. You probably will recognize it.
I don't recognize
it. Holding it upside down for right now.
Could be.
It doesn't say anything on the back, so I don't know what that is. And then I have a little. I don't know if I can get there.
Oh yeah, you got that many. His hands. This guy would think was 3D printed. His hands are like in a.
Oh, they're in a thing.
Yeah, they're like locked in a in the blocks. So it's kind of cool. So I was like, oh, he needs to get painted up. That's kind of cool.
Of course, the bag itself is like a little dice bag. And I got dice as well in there from Game Masters Guild.
And we forgot to do something in this video. So once we're finished with the swag, I'm going to go back and do that thing.
Oh my goodness, I'm making all these crunchy noises.
And
I don't know if I'm being picked up because I'm sure I am. I forget that I don't have my microphone.
Oh, we're about to do vendors. So let's go back and.
We're about to do what?
We forgot to have a word from our sponsor.
Oh, we gotta go back.
Yeah. So our sponsor is Gloomer Games out in they're in Michigan, right? They're in Michigan. A total brain cramp. I exchange mail with the guy all the time. But Gloomer Games has a Kickstarter going on, and their Kickstarter has funded. It has doubled, and it's on its way to tripling the original funding amount. And it's very exciting because they are doing the Clyde Caldwell edition of their game, Mystic Days. And this is real exciting, but don't take my word for it. Take Professor Dungeon Masters, who did an advertising spot for them.
Brought to you by Gloomer Games Mystic Days, the Caldwell edition. The Kickstarter includes 4 hardbound books: Monsters and Mayhem, Magic and Treasure, Player's Book, and Adventure Guide. OSR style, 6 classic stats, no character classes, you build the character you want, no initiative to slow things down, no OP characters, and death is always on the table. You roll to cast, failure could lead to an explosive catastrophe, and every weapon is unique. Polearms get the place they deserve with every weapon having a reach modifier, and monsters are bestial and not humanized. With fantastic cover art by Clyde Caldwell, this is old school gaming the way you remember. Links below.
Yes, links will be in the show notes. I just want to say, for everybody who has put up with me running an advertising spot and has actually clicked on the link and gone over and supported the Kickstarter, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So let's go back to the photos and we'll just cover the vendors and then we'll be done. But they had a diverse collection of vendors. This woman was doing these on the bottom here. These are all book covers, custom book covers, and those are blank books. So you might journal your campaign in there. And then we had the mimic boxes here. Just really fascinating stuff with her table. So yeah, you can see the books. You can see how these are actual books. They're just blank books, but they're perfect for journaling your campaign. And then Joe Block was there with, as the Greyhawk Grognard, and congratulations to him. He was telling me his channel is closing in on 6,000 subs. So woohoo! Very excited about that for him. And we actually shopped at his table. I'm not going to show it, but we shopped at his table for a 5e product for Zachary for his game. And then I just, on a whim said, hey, can you sign it to Zach? Who knows? 20 years from now, they'll be like, autographed by Joe.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. And so there's a view of the major vendor that was there. These were the guys that were offering up buy the tickets for the Hand and Eye of Vecna and the Tarask and the Colossal Red Dragon.
This is a good view to show, like, we're on this, like, main level. You can see the old colonial theater parts, right? You can see that's the stage up there. Stage doesn't have a lot of depth to it, but there are curtains to the sides. I did notice that, but there's a middle level of seats and then that bottom row. And so there were games being played on the top and not in the middle, and then down on the floor.
And I was skeptical when I heard it was going to be in the theater. I'm thinking, you're going to do a con in the, but no, they just moved stuff out of the way. They put in the tables, and it really worked.
Yeah.
It was just a great, Toxic, Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. I meant to get by and talk with these guys, and I did not. And I feel bad about that because we had been communicating online, and I really wanted to go by and shake their hands and talk to them about their game.
But you did go in the corner there. I didn't go over there. See,
yeah, there was just kind of a, hey, how you doing? Yeah, we just got here. Lots of traffic and construction on that.
Didn't you go over to that section of the vendors? I didn't go over there.
Well, I did, but they weren't at the table when I was over there.
No, not the people that we're looking at now. The people in the background to the right.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We didn't get a good picture of that guy. I was going to call him a kid, but he wrote this book on I can never pronounce this word, and Piers Anthony used it in his fantasy novels. Demens. I'll get Alexa to figure it out for me and pronounce the word when I do the review. This is a OSE BX compatible product, and they were ripping you off for $25, and I'm like, at $25 I have to buy it, and it was
Did you show it? Did we see the cover?
Yeah.
Oh,
so this is this guy's first product. He was over in that corner.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Is that him, the guy that we can see?
No, that's no, he's a younger looking kid, but you know, if he's a fan of BX, he can't be that young.
Right.
You know. So but we're going to be doing a review on that book as well. I'm really excited about that book. And so there were all sorts of extra vendors there. This woman wrote a fantasy novel, and she showed up to sell her fantasy novel. And if you wanted it signed,
yeah,
she would sign it.
People bought it because she was handing out like the first chapter.
Yeah. So that's it for the photos. That gives you a view of Shire Con. It was a blast. But you kept saying one thing in particular to me, and what was that?
I said many things. What did I say?
That you were having.
Oh, I was having so much fun. I kept stopping you and going, I'm having so much fun. And this is only my second con. I mean, we went to ConnectiCon, but that was like so many people, and that was not like, I don't think I sat in a game and played. We didn't play a game.
ConnectiCon was not a gaming convention.
It was not, no.
Yeah.
So this is only, last year I was still getting the cobwebs out because I had played D&D some in college, and then off and on for about 5 years in my, I don't know, late 20s. And yeah, so the last year was more like, okay, I got to remember how to do all this. And then this year was just, I mean, I knew obviously how to play Eric's game, Swords and Wizardry Light, but Rob's game knew nothing. But I know that's compatible. But like, and to enter that game so late, like, and he made it so much fun. We played for like what, an hour more, maybe a little
an hour
longer,
more
actually,
and wrapped up that dungeon. And
yeah.
And
then what we played the
Weird West.
Weird West. Sorry. And I knew nothing. And when I remember we sat down early because it was lunchtime, and to see that rule book, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to ask 5 gajillion questions. But Ian was so gracious, and teammates, like everyone's just patient because other people had to ask questions too if you're not familiar with it. Eric was familiar with it. I think the guy next to me on the right, real tall guy, I don't remember his name, but I think he was a little bit familiar. But
he owned a copy of the rule book.
Oh, so then he was familiar, but half of us weren't as familiar, and I feel like it was good. It was fun. I let out like I don't know how many times because Ian would go to do a random check on something, and it was always me, and it was always very bad.
He would dice to see who got attacked, and it was always you.
Always me. Every time he's like, I don't think the dice can hit anything else. It's just you. But I did roll a D20, which I was super excited about.
You rolled a crit, yeah.
Bellows, and I could never roll high enough for it to do anything that was dazzling.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was a cool storyline. That whole storyline in that game was fun.
So, would you recommend to other spouses to go along, tag along with their husband and go to a convention like this?
I think if you've never played, it can be super intimidating. So I would recommend, like, you and I did this thing in the truck, like, I don't know, an hour or two before we arrived there, that I was like, oh, thank you. Because stuff that is so innate for all of you, like you just know how to do all the stuff and talk all the words and whatever, is not so much for someone who's not played in a long time or even at all. But you and I have my own set of dice. And you just kept saying, okay, so if the game master says this to you, which dice is that? Or you'd say, which one's the D10? Which one's the? You would do this like quiz thing on the way, which was helpful. So you kind of need if you've never played, people are more than willing to help you. Like they would welcome that. It's like us seeing that kid. You're so happy to see a kid embracing that community and the games and the love for all that. That I think when you have new people, you're like, oh, we're here for you. We'll walk you through this. So I think, yeah, I think Ian said like his wife couldn't come this year, but he said she would have had a great time there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say bring people, not necessarily even your spouse, just other people you think might just like gaming.
Yeah. And and last year we ate supper with Jason Elliott and his wife, and James Carpio, his business partner, and his wife, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
We absolutely had a blast sitting down to dinner with them. So there are spouses there. I mean, but yeah, there's more testosterone present than there is estrogen.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I mean, I just think it can be intimidating, and I get it because last year I was more intimidated, but this year I'm like, I know that everyone's just going to embrace and take care of you. They're going to help you, right? They're going to help you. Like I always had to say, like, which dice is that? Which one am I rolling for? You'd have to check, but no one's like, because you don't know what you're doing. You've never played this game. No one's like that there at all. They're all patient. Sit down. Everyone's at different abilities or knowledge of the particular game.
And no regrets on doing this on our anniversary.
No. No.
Our 4-year anniversary. I tell people, I'm the luckiest man in the world. His wife lets him go to gaming conventions on their anniversary.
You get to spend time together. It's awesome. I mean, the traffic was not fun. Don't get me wrong. And we may have drank a little bit too much alcohol, like we were, young and in college. But
I hope I didn't embarrass myself last night.
Oh, I don't know.
The B&B.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember going to bed.
Oh my.
Is my problem.
Okay.
So I'm like, I hope I didn't say or do anything stupid.
I just think, you get there and you're just relaxed. It feels like a blink because you're there the Friday night and then Saturday goes by. You're sitting a long time. You're sitting for hours with this group of people, like 8-10 people.
For 3 hours.
For 3 hours, it's great. And then you move on to like lunch or dinner and come back and game some more. It's a great time to spend with someone that you love.
Yeah, because we blew off the evening game session to just go out to eat.
Yeah, which was nice. I had salted caramel, bourbon?
Salted caramel bourbon.
At the industry kitchen. It was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Like dangerously good because, when it tastes like not paint varnish is what I call bourbon. Yeah, that becomes dangerous. But
so yeah.
So it was a good, relaxing, fun time. And our place that we stayed at was like literally a half mile. We could have walked it on a, if you felt up to it, we could have.
Yeah, we didn't walk it. We drove the half mile.
Yes.
Because the parking is really great there. There's a municipal lot that actually sweeps around behind the building.
Yeah.
You just can't go into the part of that parking lot that belongs to the bank. But
plenty of parking.
Absolutely, plenty of parking.
And Tom, we got to do a shout out for Tom.
Tom Wilson.
I want to call him Tom Shire Con.
Shire Con Tom.
Yeah. Because his staff, which is a lot of his family, like his daughter was like, "Oh, I'm Tom's daughter." I'm like, Yeah, I know. You look exactly like him. I said to her, like, yeah, we all know who all you are. He's got other volunteer people there, and I think his wife made like dice bags and was selling in there. But his family's all helping out, and you could tell they were just anything you needed at all. They were so hospitable, and just that's also what made it super comfy. Is if you needed something, you could have said like, "Oh, how's the pizza at?" Food recommendation, hey, who's that gentleman? They were just there to help, and it was so, I don't know.
He puts on a great con, and everybody's like, you got to go to Gary Con once. You got to go to Gen Con once in your life, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's such a fun atmosphere at this level of, because those are packed with thousands of people. And it's they're, from what I know from talking to people, they're really a different animal. This is really like family. It's just like family getting together and having a good time, and we love this convention.
Yeah, it was only my second time going, and I already saw people like Helen and Rob, and was like, oh yeah, I remember you, and Brian, I remembered him from last year, and just the more that you go, you get a familiarity with people, because especially if you sat in a 3-hour game, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus Jason and I were like, we gotta run Star Frontiers next year. And I'm like,
right, Jason Messier.
Yeah, Jason Messier, and I'm like, yeah, we absolutely need to, because if he runs a game, I'm going to sit in on it, and I don't have to game master. I'll be able to sit in and play, and so that's exciting to me. But I also want to run a game, so I'll we'll be working with him to coordinate and figure out what we want to do, and so that's but again, then they've already got the date. You had that card?
Yeah, in my swag bag.
Save the date.
It says the 21st. What does it say? Hold on. First, you say this, and now it has disappeared.
Oh my God.
Literally disappeared. Oh, Throwy Games right here.
Here it is.
20th to the 21st. Year 6. Save the date.
There we go.
Throwygames.com. Throwy, THROWI. Games.com.
And I would recommend checking out Throwy Games. They are a great little company. I've loved every one of his products that I own. In fact, I reviewed one last year after the con, because I got 2 copies of it and gave one to Zach, and and I reviewed the Island Adventure one. So great company. Check out Throwy Games. Tom Wilson's a great guy, very generous, great heart.
Yeah.
We can't say enough about good about him. So this is Tom at TNT signing out for Tabletop Tap Room. Thanks for watching our video. Thanks to our subscribers. You guys are great. If you've not subscribed, please do hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. And let's do the extra.